And draw board element, of course, doesn't work because it doesn't exist anymore. All that stuff is in the render class, which is something to look at as well. I wanted to look at decoupling, especially in game loop, main, and user interface, and all these dependency injections thingies. And I need to restructure my windows, etc. That's more of a layouting thingy. Might be interesting to try and make my code run visually again. Might be interesting to do the render class first, and also I need to do. I also moved the draw canvas to its own class. It was its own class, but in line, or whatever it's called. And I want to. I need to do work to get the render class to work. I guess a lot of work. I had some easy things with just drawing shape up, any shape that was returned in shape, a new basic stroke, border width, that will be in specific classes, the border width. Oh, I only crossed border width once. Oh, wait a second. That was in grid hexagon. Oh, here it was in in corridor tau. I had a border width. Didn't copy it over to culture, but this is more like a draw outline question. I see now. This goes away, and it goes to the render. Back to the render, and because here I see it uses basic stroke. Just so it. Oh yeah, border. It's for the basic stroke takes border width. I could, of course, assign that to different classes. I could assign other things, but I think that this is the place to do that now. And I was taking a look at piece here. There's all kinds of fancy stuff, but it also has all this rendering stuff in there yet still. So that has to go to render as well. Wow, that's a whole mess in this class. Render stuff, all the booleans I was talking about, also the load image, I duplicated it here. Basic stroke is rendering. Oh, this was old code. All this was tagged out for positioning on the tiles. And old hash map stuff. Oh, there's a lot of cleanup to do, but I'll be back to that one later. And yeah, of course I have piece, building, unit, and then I also have a 3-level class hierarchy still in this one. So that's something that is going away as well. I'm going to destroy that as well. But that's probably next. I think if I go back to the... Yeah, I want to do that before I go back to the tile select thingy, because I need then my hunter unit to work correctly, and I need to get rid of all the stuff in the piece class that doesn't work. And yeah, like I said, I want to diminish that hierarchy as well, I guess. I probably just take this out and move these things to a lower level. Render board, does it have? Oh yeah, highlight color as well. Yeah. Instead of piece name, just change it to building name, unit name, etc. Just not much here. Otherwise, then render stuff. There's not much here that is duplicate when I split it all up. Same as for the other things. But that might be interesting to try and get the render class to work first, so that I can see if all that stuff that I changed, I can see that it works. By the way, that doesn't take WH at all, not this way. It will have to get, it does use its, it does use WH arguments, and I need to find a way. Oh, this is an abstract class. No, this isn't an abstract class anymore. To define abstract methods, it must be abstract, yes, but I don't use that. I will put this little node in here and in here as well. Texture square, it does need no more class hierarchy, blah blah blah, a lot of talk, but that is all old. My set trend, no, this is gonna be called TransformWH So that is what transfers my array coordinates to that. Move to another place, its own class, blah blah. That's its own class, and the method is called in Draw Canvas. Okay, let's close some stuff here. I also need the Draw Canvas open. The canvas is literally where I draw the stuff, as far as I understand, and the render class just tells it what to do, and then I create methods that I'm gonna use in the Draw Canvas. Simple. Okay, this is another name. Change the name without refactoring. Very bad. Yeah, now I need to think about the model view controller architecture a bit again, the design pattern, and about having the access to the right instances. But this is just, I think the rendering is just, well, I do load images and stuff. This is telling the computer how to render stuff. And like I said, then I put that on the draw canvas with some simple, that just tells it to do the work, what to put on there. This is how to put it. So I need to think about that, how to, because it was really, this was integrated in my class hierarchy, so that access to all kinds of stuff. And now I would need this to tell things that are created in the board specifically, because that's where I join all that stuff, where I also tell it to draw board. So it has access to these things, and then I tell it what to draw. For now, the board, specifically it's the board, and then there is some overlap with the user interface, where in the user interface what I'm going to do is join the drawing surface, the mouse listener, etc. That's where they'll come together. But let me see. I need maybe draw that down. I have a main that, and now I'm also thinking about when I instantiate what and where I want to have access to that. The main should run a thing. Now I run the board in main. That's just weird. I think I need to run the user. My logic is you run a user interface first, or you have a game that starts with all full screen and you have things that happen before you get into the interface, whatever. But I'm thinking you go into the interface, then you start the game, you have the interface, then you click on something which selected a certain type of game, blah blah blah, then start that game, which then creates a board and a game loop, or a game loop and a board, depending on, I don't think the game loop is part of the board. Is really, I want to say the board creation isn't necessarily part of the game loop, I guess. I think you create a board and then the game loop starts, for what I have in my head now. I mean, so now I start those things for some other reason. I start them in main, which is pretty weird. And then I give instances of game loop and board to user interface, which can be, which should be, yes, that's logical. But the exact fine tuning of that I'll find out, but that I have the global logic ready. So, and then, yeah, user interface, that's not really rendering stuff. Rendering is for the graphics, and all those windows and stuff is also being rendered, but that's kind of outside of that. That's all taken care of. Let's limit myself with rendering really to what I want to see on the drawing screen, on the draw canvas, on what's happening on the playboard. Because even, yeah, that's those things. Yeah, I called it render board. That would be like render draw canvas, and then yeah, you can have stuff in other windows that also have rendering, of course. Like say you want to have a select unit or select building window, which is not just a list with with some names, with some text, but it's like a picture or something. That's also a window where rendering takes place. So that might be a separate rendering class even to keep things, to keep me sane. And might turn out to be better to put it in a class and just give it separate methods or something, because it might use the same imagery or So, but for now, that is that. I have a interface, and I start a game, which starts a board and a game loop on that board. Or so that board is what I want to draw then. So I want to give the render class access to that instance of board. Right. So now I need to, instead of that it is a part of my class structure, I need to get the right instance of board or apply these rendering instructions to the right instance of board. Okay. So in the meantime, I asked some really stupid questions to ChatGPT, like what I'm very good at. So because I was wondering how I get the right instance of board to the render class, and it was kind of worried about, because when in my last video I with my mouse over thing, etc., all the troubles I had with that, it seemed like it might not have the right instance of board that was being used. So I know I don't want to instantiate a new instance of board. I want one instance of board. So I was a little bit confused on how to do that. And so I just asked, I posted my render class to it and told it I need access to a specific instance of, to a specific instance of class, a class. Well, I didn't specify it because it doesn't have the context. And then it gives a suggestion about giving a render an access to an instance of main, but that I don't remember. It did tell me that it wasn't very great idea generally. It's kind of inversing it, which it does sometimes. Maybe it's because of that. It gives me a render board an instance of main instead of the other way around. And it talks about singleton. Well, in the design pattern stuff, and also ChatGPT told me that singleton is a thing generally of being avoided unless there's really no other obvious way to do things. So then I asked, can I do it with a getter method? And then it also returns a method to get an instance of main. And then I post my main class, and then I tell it I want that the instance of board that is instantiated there, and give it access to and let have render access to that. And what was it? This answer was either get a getter in main, which can be done, of course, or I can it gives that example to make a getter, which gives, then you need also, of course, in the other class have access to the instance of main, and then it tells me that's considered bad practice. And then it again tells me about dependency injection, that would be a better way to do that. Then I tell it that I want to make sure I access the right and only instance of board, and how to make sure, and how to be sure of that. So it explains me again that it could be to do with dependency injection and the use of a dependency injection container. However, blah blah blah, and then it just gives me the example like I do with the other classes in main. Where's main? That I can just instantiate an instance of render board, the render class in main, and give it immediately give it an instance of board like I do with game loop and with user interface. And I was just having a brain fart that I said so much to ChatGPT. I said, "Oh, thanks, it's that simple," and that I was having a brain fart about not wanting to instantiate an instance of render board here in the main class. And I really said it, but it seems silly now. And it says, no worries at all. It's common to have those moments when designing and developing software. That's part of the learning process. Oh, no, that's so cute. Always feel free to ask questions and clear your doubts. Remember, the best design is usually the simplest one that works. I'm glad I could help. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask. Happy coding. It's so adorable. So, right, yeah, that seems kind of like the best way to do it. And it's funny, like I was telling in the beginning of the video, one of my missions was to take out dependency injection as much as possible and do decoupling. I start to understand that decoupling is not always the same as taking out dependency injection. That is not, can be related, but as far as I understand now, it's not necessarily the same thing. So I will do that because it explains to me that this is like the central, when you're doing it, this is like the central class where I initialize some classes that I only want one of. And so this is the most secure way to make sure that you have that you use the same instance all the time. Would be good if I type things right. And this takes board also. Okay, it cries because in render board I didn't put that in the construction, of course, in the constructor yet, I think. Board. So now in main it doesn't complain. Right. Why? Oh, it's not used. Yeah, it's not used because I don't use it to start a method or anything. It's no problem. I just wanted to pass the thingy for now. So, and there's one other thing I realized. No, I not need to be in board. Yes, I do need to be in board. Okay, yeah, the TransformWHtoXY. I realized that it probably needs to be in shape anyway, where it was, I think, or maybe I had it in the subclass of that, because that one uses all the. I was thinking to give access to GameShape in this class, to an instance of it, but yeah, that now doesn't seem logical. That it has all these values, which needs to be this transformation needs to be applied to the shapes, etc. But it, what was my reasoning? I don't think. Yeah, I need to do this transformation on all kinds of shapes, like I use it here below here, and I might even want to add an argument of shape in here, so that it takes these shapes as arguments that I pass into. For example, I simplified it, and now I simplified the name here. In a public shape, in corridor shape, I called it corridor shape. Now I call it just shape everywhere that I use a shape, so that I can easily access the specific shape for a specific object just with shape, instead of having to call a different name, so that I don't have to double. So that, for example, the transform method, I can just give it a shape argument instead of having to put in different. So I realized that's also a way to simplify code a bit. Like I was all the time fighting with the separation between Cordera and culture, and I want the tile thing to simplify functions, to just give it a tile argument instead of having to separate it to all the time. But I could also do it in a similar way as this. I'm starting to realize I don't have to do all kinds of complex things with hierarchies, probably. So that's starting to slowly take form in my head. So yeah, effectively this should be applied to all kinds of shapes. So now it's just something I throw at a whole bunch of code. It should also be applied to texture square, for example, but it all things that are in shape. So I think not exactly sure how I'm gonna do that, but this one goes back to there, and then I can just call it simply. I think more simple from here, because yeah, that was what I was reasoning. I wrote it down. Through board, it should have access to all the shapes, and because I give it access to board now, and in board it can find all the objects that have a shape. So if normally it should be able to access that, and I don't have to give it access to the shape specifically. It has access through the I put it up there. It should have access through the objects that use a shape. That was what I was the conclusion I made. So I can take out my little comment here. So normally I can apply this to any object that uses a shape, and I probably need this. Oh, this is so weird. Every time I do my, what is it called, Hupplepup operator, the first time it gives an error. This board is board. No, why does it give me all kinds of shit? I don't want that. I'm always fighting with autocomplete. And so, of course, it's this is its private instance of board, I think. Private board. Why? Oh, not used, that's all. I don't care. So then I should be able to do board that. No, I need to pass through. Now I should just want to be able to pass through simpler things. But oh yeah, that brings me to another thing. In my board class, I have, where is it? It's down here. I have this draw board thing, which uses a graphic to the etc. thingy. This is actually also supposed to be up in the render class. Before I said this is what it has to draw, and in render I want to say how it's drawn, but I came to the conclusion that it needs to be here as well, and because I tell it what to draw and how to draw it, and it's what gives it away also is that it takes an argument of the graphics through the thingy. And the public void draw board, I don't need it there. And because what I do here, I was just calling in this draw method, I was calling draw board. That was the one I just moved. And then in where is it gone? In my draw canvas, I just called that method board point draw. So I was just giving it, passing it along. So I don't need that. That can go away. And I wanted to rename that. What did I think about that? I thought I wrote that down. Okay, I thought I draw. Oh, here it was. I wrote it in the code. Rename to draw tiles instead of draw board element, and then I will have another one for draw units, draw building, etc., draw road to avoid confusion. Now I just had a whole one method to draw the whole board, and thus I was here. Oh no, I cannot just do the instance of board and then transform. I need to do things like I have it in draw board. I need to access the grid first, and then etc. etc. I have to follow a longer route because the complexity of my board structure. And yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I need. I'm pretty sure I need a shape argument in the transform thingy, because I wasn't. No, I was, because it was in the class hierarchy. It was just transforming all the shapes that I used. I'm pretty sure. I cannot exactly explain how what, but I need a shape argument for it. And then here I need shape. I think just shape. And then let me see. Let me see first. I think I need it, but I will see where I get stuck without this before doing unnecessary stuff, because I have access to the shape, but it's specifically, so I need board grid WH. I don't need the grid hexagon thingy there normally. Then yeah, there I have again the problem that I need to do them double. would be great if I just had oh yeah, I can just do the shape of the grid hexagon if I would want to draw the grid hexagon shape, but for now I don't want it. But it would be great if I just had just to simplify having to do this kind of drawing double and selecting a tile double every time. That would be great. On the other hand, where was it in board? Also the select tile method, find tile point. Yeah, otherwise I always have this double if blah blah. But I kind of need that even if I pass through a tile. So it would. Oh, where was I? In render. Yeah, even when it might simplify one step, like here in draw. The other cool thing about it is I can separate how I draw them and if I draw them. So might not be a big drama. But now I changed all those things. So let's get the culture first. How do I return get tile type? I need the object. What do I want the shape? Terrain. No, I don't want the terrain. I want the culture tile. I have that here for bloody blah. Not is no get culture tile. I think that get culture tile that was the method in board, or was it in its only? Oh yeah, this is just a random assigned thing in case. So I do need culture tile is a field in the board. I don't have access to that. That's not being assigned. That's not being assigned to anything. It's just locally used. No, I pass it. Yeah, I pass it to the grid hexagon. But grid hexagon might have a method for that. That's smart. Public, return this. All right. Yes. Oh, they're on. Okay, that's great. I already had them. Give me that. Get culture tile. Yes. And then that's called shape. That field normally. Right. So I don't normally. Now I take the shape, which returns that shape. Let's get the right one. Culture shape. That's just a circle. That's a shape, which is base circle 1. So normally it should apply the transformation to this. If my even without passing shape as an argument to this. I hope. Otherwise, I need to pass. I need to pass it as an argument. We'll see that later. Why doesn't it? The static field board grid should be accessed in a static way. Ah, okay. Why is it static? Thought it was probably just did that to did that to exit it easily somewhere because I didn't know how to. The field board. Oh no, it's not visible. Of course, public. Maybe I should change it to final or use stuff like that. But okay, now it says the method transform body is undefined for the type shape. That's for the shape. Yeah, like I said, I need to pass a shape to it, and then see how I get. Then I need the shape, but it needs a shape every time. Or maybe I should then pass the whole thingy in there. Does that work? Because it needs, or do I just need to make a variable here? Let me see. Can it work like that? Definitely not sure. Can I pass the whole thing in there? And then transform. Okay, yeah, because to call transform, I need access to the GameShape class after all. Or I just do it double. Does that work? Oh, now I'm probably doing some very silly things here. Why is it yellow? What does it mean? Select something else. Doesn't give an error, but this seems rather silly. I probably should create some local, even within the method, some local fields to this shape. It uses draw outline from the tile. That's on the tile. It uses texture square that is on the tile. So yeah, I just need access to the specific culture tile. So when I just create a field of, yeah, I can just do this one time. Do I want to give it access up there? I of course I need to put in this this loop, because otherwise it only does it once. And then within the loop, I probably want access to it. When I put it outside of the method, it will just give me, yeah, or I do have to put a loop outside the method. But let me think. If I need to draw units later, they will be relative to the tile. So I want that transformation every time. Oh, so that would mean that I need either repeat the loop for drawing units or do the drawing units within. Oh, that is weird. Well, I get to there when I get to there, I think. Or, yes, I could I just create the loop outside of the methods and then return the tile I want? Ooh. I'm just using the loop once to assign to find a specific to use the get culture tile, get corridor tile method, put a variable there. I can always try and ask my little digital body if that works, because I think I want this is all about drawing tiles, and I think I want a separate method to draw units. It seems logical. Can I do that? Let me try. And then if I cannot test it right now, but if I, because everything is broken, but if I can just create it and then ask ChatGPT if that's okay. Yeah, because I don't want to return. I don't see it that I need to return the whole thing. So yeah, I think I just need local instances of the culture and corridor tile, and then assign a value to them. I do all kinds of things like that. Yeah, in the switch methods, file tile. Yeah, it does use that loop thingy also. Yeah. Yeah, this is exactly the same principle. But then, yeah, no, I think I cannot do that outside the loop, I think I need it inside the loop. But the field is here outside the loop, that's no problem. But then when I have that, I will see how that works out. I cannot wrap my hand around it because I want the units relative to that. If I can then just reuse the instance that I assign a value to in the loop, if I can just reuse that units that instance, yeah, because those get transformed. So I think then the units that are relative to that are getting transformed, or are they just? Or I need a loop that runs to. Well, I'll see. We'll see. Let's get it rolling like this. So I want to. I didn't know. I don't know if I said it, but I want to merge these two methods. So here, within the method, I'm gonna tell what it draws and how it draws it. So this is the board instance here, because I have access, so there's no problem. And this feels like really like the separation of the thingy. I have now access to that board. It can see the board here, and then do operations on it. So I just put in the instance of board everywhere here, where it wasn't, because it was in the class board. It's just super easy. That's already solved. The static field board, which should be accessed in a static way. Yeah, that's again because I do just because things. Like I said, maybe I should change it to final public. Does that work? Final, just start experimenting. Don't be afraid. Not a static final, but a final. I think that means also, I don't really still get what static means compared to final, etc. So it doesn't complain. What was the other one that I changed? Okay, that was the board array. Let's make that final as well. See what it brings me. Just go with it. Oh yeah, another thing I forgot to implement the other train types. I only did one type, but one thing at a time. I love to be all over. So render. I have this get W and get H that I don't need, I think, because it's also it needs to get that from the objects that are in board. So I don't need a getter for H. That was because it was in the class hierarchy. Move to another place, its own class. That's what I already did. Can take out that comment. Rename. So board blah 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 blah. Culture tile draw board element. Yeah, that's the thing I have there. So this is pretty stupid. I don't need to tell it here to draw because it's inside the draw function now. Draw piece. Okay, that was for the get culture tile. Not this now. Yeah, so this has to be rethought. Here I was telling it to draw it, but that was, like I said, it was just being passed on. So that is useless now. I must now tell it to do these things. I need to directly do these things, but on a shape. So besides a local culture tile, I also need a shape to pass it. No, I can pass the culture type point shape to those things. Yeah, wait, that's good. So let me see how that works again. So after all this stuff, to avoid no point exception, to avoid no exception when grid has no culture for borders, not is null. Okay, I'm going to write here. So then culture tile is board.grid. No, not grid hexagon. Why doesn't it give me that one? Let's just copy the whole bunch. Get culture tile not is null, build culture tile, that whole same thing. Put it in there. Why? Oh, punt culture. Oh, I'm missing a word. So then that is culture tile. This can go away, I think. Get furnished on tile draw piece. Yeah, that's the same. That can go away later. Not anymore. This can goes into draw unit, not draw piece. I was thinking to make instead of draw pieces, which includes my buildings and units, etc. I was thinking to make a method for all of them separately. So yeah, that goes away. Oh, and let's just move that thing. Public void draw unit. Let's just not wait and do it right away. And just move it here for now. X go away. So that my stuff is a little more readable. Especially, this is same with grid. If culture tile not is null. Okay, I didn't need that for corridor tile apparently. And then I need this whole thing here. So I need this whole thing. If blah 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 blue blue blue, it goes here normally. By the way, then I have to do it twice for. Can I do it twice for? Yeah. Then I need to do this whole thing twice. Ah no. Ah yeah, of course I can keep this separate. I can make this like select. I just have to make it that for each. It does this for each sculpture and corridor tile. Don't want to. Do I? Don't want to do a double, but yeah, like I said before, then it will be implied, like I have now, that I use the same for both. The same draw, everything will be drawn the same. I already have some conditional things in there, so how can I do that it goes for both? I don't feel like this general shape. Oh, I just have to make an if statement, or and if or. How does it work? Just if shape. Oh, in fact, yeah. I just need to have a shape and then tell him that for blah 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 shape is either this or that, then it does the whole thingy-majiggy. So how do I write that? If board. Okay, how does that work again? I need to have another if around it, just simply. If board not is null, that's the general thing, right? Where does it end? Where's the corresponding? What? Am I missing stuff? Oh, it's all right down there. Yeah, that's just if it's not null. That's for both. That counts for the whole thing. Then this whole thing, except that this was for the to find the culture tile, and then I can tell if, yeah, I think I needs to be above here. If, and I need a shape which is private, I think. It's local private shape. So if this has to go out, what was it? Yeah, this whole bunch here. And it goes after that, I think. And then I have to make an if or. Oh no, that's an if else. If should I just change this in? This is if board not is no blah blah blah. Oh yeah, I should make. Yeah, I should change this to an if else statement. This one. If bloody blah. Is it inside there? How does it work? If bloody blah not is no culture tells that. And do I have an else if statement somewhere? Should have. Oh, here. If bloody blah, else if not is no. I think it goes in here as well. Shape is this whole thing and shape. Copy. Punt shape. Yeah. Should. And then else. And it goes with the new brackets to here, I think. No, not too many. Just here, I think. Well, it's all else if here. And it does another thing. I think this is just to define my thingies. Here's a board. Yeah. Don't need autocomplete. Corridor. No, corridor. I should make that shorter to not type corridor culture all the time, but I'm refusing. I'm like a donkey like that. Corridor tile, right? Pom. Don't I need get? Don't I even need get? Can I access that field directly? Because I pass here, oh, this with my else if statement. I pass them to the grid hexagon, and in the grid hexagon I have a getter method, but do I even need that? because now on the grid hexagon, I do have a field for that and this. I'm not sure if that works, but maybe I don't even need a getter here. It's interesting. Not sure how that works. And then shape is the whole shebang, but with shape. And then this should work, which should mean that our board also probably doing stupid things now. Can I then just do shape point? Does it then need the shape? Again, do I then need the shape argument in here? Let me see. Can I just apply it, save the whole bunch? It doesn't, is undefined for the type shape. Yeah, shape is the, oh, I'm stupid. It should be game shape, of course. Not a shape, it's a game shape. So, and that game shape should be accessed here. What is it? From shape, cannot convert from shape to game shape. Game shape, shape. That means that I did some stupid thing here as well. Shape, that is instead of shape, it should be game shape. Return type, also same. Return type from, oh, what happened? Accord shape to game shape. It's a new area. Wait a minute. Now my brain is returns an area, which also is a shape. So of course it's undefined for the type shape. Yeah, I think, but yeah, it's not exactly getting it, but it takes a shape, and then it's okay. And there's this shape. Yeah, I think, no, it's not happy. No. Game, shape. That's what it needs. Yeah, I'm messing around now. Yeah, that's what it needs. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's not a shape from him. That's a shape from my stuff. Those are all game shapes. I was just being an idiot, I think. Game shape. Need to change that in the other one, don't forget. So wait, I create an instance of game shape, and then I return shapes. Yeah, that's the right thing to do, I think. And this one just checks shapes. Then it complains, oh, wait a minute, now my brain is hurting. This takes a shape. Thinking I maybe need a getter also in the other ones where I just was accessing the instance. I think actually that is not the way it works. So I might need a getter just for the shape, although I thought that it would be good like this. Public shape, get shape. Although I set it on public over there, does it comply with me then? Get shape. And then without that stuff in there. No, I cannot do this on a type of shape because that's not a method from the shape class. Game shape just here. Should it just be game shape? Am I being stupid? Cannot convert from shape to game shape. Then this should cut it out for now. This should return a game shape. I'm really now getting stuck in stupidity. Game shape is new game shape. That is the public shape. It doesn't need to have a type, does it? Does it also need to be a game shape? It is a game shape. It's not a. When I make it an area, does it? I'm doing something really stupid, I think. Yeah, it is a shape, but what it returns. That's a new instance of game shape. Then I return a shape. That's okay, but then what if I return the whole thing here? Maybe that's what it needs. Return shape is, no, that doesn't work like that, no? Oh, it can do that. And then again, take that away. Maybe the problem is that it doesn't, maybe I'm fucking everything up because, no, it's not an if else, it's an is or. How did that work? Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I'm not using the, well, maybe I shouldn't have this whole thing here. Right, shape cannot be resolved, deposit, like in the other things. So yeah, little explanation. I think here from ChatGPT, I think I need an or statement because I need to execute that. Where was it? That whole thing here. When for both, and it's a cultural core.dal. That doesn't matter. And I think that should be here. I don't want the else. That's crap. If that not is null, culture tile. So that needs to be around before that one. If that needs to be around this whole stuff, I think. If bloody blah, like that. Oh no. Then here I need an or. Where is the symbol? Or that. Why is it not happy with that? Maybe this needs to be end if. Oh yeah, not end. Told me in its last message. No, it should be simple like that. Can I nest if and if or? That should be the right way. I'm not that stupid. If that and then if blah 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 or. Oh, I missed the brackets. I need more brackets. Brackets. This has its bracket down there. So this whole thing goes between brackets then. So I should have a new bracket here. Where's that one? This one. So I need one more here down here. Oh, maybe I'm thinking, not sure, but I was thinking I was very smart to do this this thing here, but I'm realizing that maybe it doesn't even get initialized this way. So instantiated. Not sure. Game shape is new game shape. Wait a minute. New shape is new game shape and culture shape to the teeth. That doesn't work. Maybe I need this here. I'm not sure if it gets. And then when I return shape here, those create objects too, those methods. They create a shape object. So what if I do this straight here, culture shape, and the other one as well? I thought I was being smart with this thing here, but was I? Probably missed some intelligent. I was thinking I only want one instance, etc. But now I'm not so sure. Now I'm not so sure at all. Texture square, culture tile, what? Texture square, oh, I had some old stuff there. Why? Oh, new. So like that. Maybe I should have done that. Why? Oh, that's a game shape as well. That's not that. Just that. Okay, that is not possible because it returns a shape. And then we have the same thing. So I don't need to instantiate game shape then. And then the return returns the shape, right? Misplaced construct, why? This whole thing, I want it inside there. Doesn't it work like that? This is this whole bunch as a condition, isn't it possible? Apparently not. Oh no. Okay, no. That is starts to piss me off. Just ask ChatGPT to fix it. I'm breaking my head. Yes, incorrect syntax, I know. And other problems. Yeah, it gives all this, highlighted all the stuff. A lot of assumptions, yes, I know, but you assumed correct. I just want the order. Did it get my if board not is null? The rest is the same. Shape is null. So that is what I'm missing. If board not is null, bloody blah. This is an else if. It's not an or. It does have an else if. If without that. If board get culture, you just repeated, that's great. Culture tile. Do I need to repeat that? Apparently. That's something I don't. Board is. Oh, it does it very simple. Culture tile get shape because I do have the. I don't have. Yeah, I don't need the whole. Oh, culture. Don't need to repeat the whole thing. Get shape. Oh wait, else if board bloody blah culture is culture blah shape. I'm there. And then I need a bracket here. I'm just totally lost in where to put the stuff. That I was totally lost. And then that need not a 9. You go away. Then why does it some their interface shit. Then else if not null. Oh, that's just repeating the same thing. I can repeat that, it's not necessary, but that's not what I needed, I think. Copy. Just copy it in there. Not is null. Order tile. Why? Corridor. Did I write it wrong? I must be stupid. Shape is corridor tile shape. Simply. Very easy. But why can it find that? Change to. I must be blind. It's there. What? I must be blind. Corridor tile shape, bloody blah. Then I just need one bracket there. And then, okay, and little if not is null is always lovely, like that. If not is null. And then I have way too many brackets in the end, I guess. Okay, that seems to be closing them up. Create local variable. So I do need shape. Okay, then it's happy. Okay, it's keep getting that problem that the shape is. And if I make this just into a game shape, it's gonna complain that I cannot, because I need an instance of game shape. Yeah. What is the problem? What is here? What is the matter? Oh my god, I'm going crazy. Corridor. It's there. Why is it object corridor tile? You're pissing me off, machine. Oh, I'm so stupid. Just missing the getter. No? Yes. Missed the fee. Corridor tile. Get shape. So I need to do what I did with initialize the shape in the constructor, I think. Shape of shape. That's a new game shape, like that. I thought I was being smart. Maybe it was, and I'm just doing this for nothing. That's very much possible, of course. And then the other one, just to sure, yes, texture. Maybe copy that one, that's more. And then the public can, that one can go away. I was so happy that I had it simplified. Like I said, maybe it's still true, and I'm just messing my smart things up. And then I think I need new instances of those as well. What I'm thinking now is that otherwise I will not initialize them at all. Oh, that's missing a capital. Like so. But now I don't understand why. It does have no problem with the culture tile, but it has a problem with the corridor tile. What am I doing wrong? Oh, there seems to be a punctuation problem. Yes, I missed a thingy, of course. Oh my god, I'm so simple. Sometimes I'm so much making myself tired. Get shape is missing some thingy. And it's still not happy. Oh, because I didn't implement it in, didn't implement get shape in the corridor tile yet. Because I'm all over. I did it because behind get first unit on tile. Keep it a bit uniform. Shape get shape. That's just a total copy. It's not highlighted correctly. Oh, okay, of course. Now I have a bracket too many still. That wasn't the only problem. I'm not feeling very confident that using all this nested stuff is the best way to do it. But what the hell? Let's run with it. Else if get corridor tile. Notice no. That is still highlighted. No, but it's already not highlighted like it should be. Why is that? Oh, still bracket too many. Still, or too little even. Now it's missing all kinds of stuff now. That was it. And the last one is that one, that one, oh, that one is that one, yes. Okay, so what is the thing binding? Undefined for the type shape. But I'm returning a... Oh, okay. I thought that one is not good here. I'm creating it inline here. Forgot about that one. Type mismatch again. But if I want to return public game shape, what am I instantiating now? New game shape. Shape is new. It's a shape, so I can only return it as a shape. What is the problem? What am I doing wrong? Why isn't it working? There are instances of game shape now. So, oh, but maybe I should... So I can use those methods, but what methods that return a shape? Those methods return a shape, and then it's binding. Should I put them in a constructor and create instances of them? Oh, and then, yeah, maybe I just need to create getters here, because this class isn't worked out at all. I just did transformation of it, but I did create objects of it, but I make it a class instead of an abstract class. Maybe that's also why it's dysfunctioning. And these return, but I need to return objects of game shape. So, but normally I use the methods. Oh, maybe I need to do it like the other class, maybe now I need to create variables. That would also explain how I can change these simplified things, which I don't really need, but I could just create them. Yes, I want to, now I need to return objects of game shape, which are shapes. Or is it because it's a void? Let's ask GPT. I'm breaking my head. It's just wasting my time. Let's post the whole thing. Copy. Oh, this will be too big. Let's just post it. So I explain ChatGPT what's going on and if it has any ideas about what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, your transform is expecting of a type game shape. Yes, but that's this would be, oh yeah, make them return game shape, but that, no, but yeah, effectively that doesn't work because they return shapes. We need a feature share like it says. Okay, conversion method. To create a game shape from a shape, you could create a method in the game shape class or elsewhere that takes a shape object as input and returns a new game shape object. The implementation of this method would depend on how game shape is defined and what data it needs. Or change it to shape. Yeah, that's what I had. And then still it doesn't do what I want. Okay, I'm going back to what it says. What should be the most logical thing. So I posted my game shape class with where the method is to JGPT and explained because it missed context because it said, yeah, you just have to pass shape to it, etc. Then it tells me that I should do the transformation within these methods. And now I explain to it that I want the transformation is for rendering purposes. So I don't want to include it in every method. I don't want to include it here in the shape, in the basic shapes. That's just weird. Like here, it gives me an example. Like just put it in the corridor shape. I gave an example. Then it just it says you have to pass a W and an H argument to them, etc. And then a transform in there. But that's so I said no. I want to do that when I render. I want to do the transformation. Okay, so it does give me another way of doing that in the render class. Yeah, so it does something with find transform, etc. But the important thing is that it doesn't use the shape object. Just that I need to have it does need shape object, but I mean it doesn't need to pass shape to there. In fact, it kind of tells me the same that I already have. Perform the transformation if Conditional blah blah blah. Maybe I should do it here. It's undefined for the type shape. Yes, of course. Take that out again. Try. We'll get there someday, maybe. And then that is again game shape. And then I have the same problem that, let's stay with Conditional, that my method returns a shape instead of a game shape. Cannot convert. So let's try what I said before, but with the culture tile. Public game shape get culture. Maybe that's the problem. Culture shape. And then return just a method, corridor shape. Is that what works? No. Cannot convert. New. Return new game shape. Oh, and like it said, wait, it did say something about extends. Extends. Oh, no, that should be there. Is that an extends shape? Is that a way of doing it? No, I cannot. Oh, or I can keep it in interface. That means abstract. Keep it abstract. Oh, I forgot what it exactly did. Abstract method needs to specify a body. Okay, then the whole thing is abstract. Game shape implements shape public class. Yeah, what's wrong? Oh, it's a whole lot of import. No, implement shape. Oh, this is getting tiresome. Yeah, no, that doesn't change anything. I'm really doing something really stupid. I'm sure about it. Yeah, either I'm being really stupid or I think I need to rethink with the new kinds of structures I'm implementing. I think I need to rethink the whole way I do these shapes. I keep going back and forth with that I can't transform game shape to shape, vice versa. So I have a suspicion that the way I was doing it, because it was an abstract class to the class hierarchy, it would work differently. Now I made it a separate one, which should be able to return the shapes, but the shapes to have something to do with rendering. Yeah, I just need to continue to be able to use this as building blocks, but right now I'm not sure how to do that. So I think I need to rethink the way they come into the rest of the code. There is something that isn't isn't going right, and this only works. I was sure I was going to run into this at one point, and I was changing all this stuff, and with the transform method, and defining these measurements here, and so that was like, and yeah, taking out the class hierarchy. I was pretty sure I was at one point going to run into a logical problem here. Also, where does it belong with the rest of the code, and does all this stuff belong in here? Because here I have access to I should have access to an instance of board as well. So does it belong for part in the board and or part in render? And I did ask JGPT again about the difference between normal classes, abstract one, and interface, but it doesn't seem that it's going to help me here. And logically, I just want this to return objects that I can pass to the tiles. And I'm not doing that, I think, because I'm not creating any game shape objects. And yeah, I do need the functionalities that are in the shape library for Java shape library for things. Maybe I should implement the shape. Tell it to implement it and just I don't overwrite anything. So yeah, I'm stuck here. I was doing some simply thingies here, and then I get this shape story, which is logical. I'm changing all this stuff, so, and I was using those shapes in the old way, and now everything is deconnected here, decoupled. Yeah, and now it's the problem between factly the thing that is blocking it now. Probably maybe it's just in the transform. Just the fact I want to transform it here. It's just maybe stupid. I have this transform method, and I've just a few shapes I use. I have to include the transform, but then I have to pass the WH arguments to to those transform to those what was it? Yeah, to those methods where I want to use the transform. So, and that will give a cascading effect when I give for instance culture shape, bloody web, put the transform in there. Then I have other things that I use culture shape for. Then they also need it, etc., etc., etc. It's not a way. So I should have a way to just apply that whole transformation to, yeah, like I said, to all the objects that I use. Why can't I just give it a, oh, am I just being really, really stupid? Instead of trying to do it on shape, am I just being really retarded here? I think I am. Shape. The method transform for the type render board. Yes, I know. Culture tile. I have a local variable. Culture. Oh no, I'm missing an E, of course. Ah, stop annoying me. The method is undefined for the type culture tile. I just need to access the instance of GameShape. Ah, damn it. Sometimes it's annoyingly sticky. The method transform. Okay. Again, GameShape. No, then it's gonna wind, but it can't. I just need to tell the fucking thing that which shape it needs to use. That's all. Which shape it needs to use, and then I could just. Do I just need to access GameShapes here? I'm just being a really great idiot, am I not? GameShape. What if I just give it access to GameShapes? Because it's render class after all. And then it stops whining that it doesn't know it, maybe. Okay, now we're back to it telling me that we can do transform. I can just give it access to, oh, it's met. No, but it's kind of harsh. No, this is not the way. Oh, I'm totally lost again. I just could give it access to now, but I need the instances through there, I think. It's bullshit to pass an instance of GameShape to this thing. Is it? It could be similar to what I did with the board, based on the book, just give it access to an instance of each of those, like a bit similar with this, but just by creating an instance. Yeah, but it needs the right. I could just tell the tiles which shape they use, and I could make those shapes available in GameShape. Oh, that brings me to another thing that I can do to distract myself a bit. I had this load image as well in the render class, but I was thinking, yeah, but when I do this here, then it will load an image every time that I create an instance of a tile. It will load the image here in the render class. So I was thinking the load, because I use the trains, I instantiate them once, and I use copies. I use the same thing. So I was thinking I need to put the load image in the train class so that it loads the image there, and then it uses it, and then it uses it in the render class to render it, but it's already loaded once over there. I think that works. Maybe I'm wrong, but so I take buffered image also. And then it just needs new file, load image, new file, texture file name, like that, I think. And here it has the, so then I tell it the name here. I think that should be it. Super simple. I hope. And then again, I need to get access to those from iterating through the board elements, but I can have access to the terrain. That's something I just need to access now here in image. Of course, it can't find it anymore, but that should just be accessible. So that takes a terrain. So then it should just be accessible, like something with terrain. Probably need a return image here, I guess. Buffered image, I guess. Not sure. Image. Oh, and then again, this is protected. It's just private here, I guess. Try to get a bit, do that a bit how it works. And then here, terrain point, get image or something like that. That's not going to work, but that needs to have access the same way that I'm trying here now with iterating through the array. So that was a thing. And another little thing which goes very much to the select tile, etc. that I'm trying to do is this highlighted Boolean doesn't go here in render board. That needs to be in the shapes, but then in the this highlighted should still be I was telling myself off for having that in a very low level in the objects, but it actually should be on the I think now at least that should be on the. I'm not sure if I can do it like this with the point. That is whether it's set to highlighted. The tile needs to have the is highlighted Boolean, but whether it's set highlighted or either I use no, that's I think that also goes through the board or from the user interface. That is this separation of model view and controller here. But the Boolean for needs to be able to be set on the tile, but where it is set, and then it will set this method here in the. It will somewhere else probably set this method, but for now I'll just copy it in here. But that won't be. I won't probably have a string here close to the shape. I have another idea. Again, I took out game shape again here as an instance. It does need that shape, but I don't feel as confident that it's a way to construct it. I could do that if it has at only one shape. I could do it in here like pass it like this, but then I need multiple shapes. So now I just instantiated an instance of the game shapes in here. I was thinking of passing it as in renderboard as an argument, a dependency injection with the game shapes, but then I feel that I go again. I'm not sure if I have the right instance because I want this instance. I think, but yeah, oh, maybe that's what I need to do. Now I pass the instances to the tile of the shape. What if in the renderboard, it's a bit like in the book here. What if in the render class I give it an instance of the game shapes, and then I tell tell it here what to draw. Yeah, that would kind of inverse my way of doing things, because all it was of a class hierarchy. I try to give these objects to the corridor, but I'm making complex objects. I just needed to either have the name in here or not have anything in here, and either tell it in. Now in board, I'm constructing all kinds of things. I'm giving parameters to objects. I can either do that here in the render class and just tell it that it needs to draw that shape for that specific thing. That goes a bit against my logic of having the shapes here in the thing, but this is the weird thing. I'm in the, what is it called, in the component chapter that's about composition a bit. Effectively, if he has all that stuff in his Björn class, it's Mario alternative. Yeah, in his example as well, he takes out what to draw, he takes it to a graphics class. These are just very, very basic examples, but still, and puts it in there. So with that logic, I could just in render. I'm a bit scared of it, because for me, kind of, it's like taking information away from these objects. But I need to think. I need to learn. I see there's objects like constructing things, and I already did differently now with his. I implemented it way differently, or kind of differently, but with this train creation that goes all the way into the board now, and like I moved the load image back to the train because I want to load once. I want to load the image because here I create a new train. So then the image, in my head, the image is loaded once, and when I put it in the render class and tell it there to load the image, it will be loaded every time, I think. So, but it goes totally against the way I was thinking about everything. But that sounds like a very interesting idea. And when I have access to the GameShape instance here, and that is what he does in the example. He has a graphics class that does even something else, but I'm for now probably mixing those two up. I'm typing the same as it. Let's get it again. Game shape. No, wait a minute. What I was saying, game shape. Then I get. Oh no, this is random board. No, I was. Oh yeah, that was no. My brain thought was about having it passed. Oh yeah, exactly. All right. So yeah, exactly. This is. I wanted to pass it to the tile, and then I had to the other one in board. I had to add these, which for me is not logical because they all have the same shape. If I do it like that, and then I could take all this stuff out of here, but that would mean that I take the whole shape out of here. Is that a problem? What if I take all this out? This, it keeps the WH, of course. Yeah, because I do this iteration also for W and for H. So that would automatically transform all the shapes that I call here. I just need to associate them with the right thing in there. And then I don't need all these return methods either. That's no problem. Train. So everything goes away. And then should it need a shape then either, should it? So this is a whole other way of thinking. So now I'm not looking for a shape. I'm not searching for a shape. This game, why doesn't he find it? Shape, because I didn't save it yet. This game shape. I'm pretty tired. Maybe I'm doing stupid things even more than usual. public. Okay, this is const. What? Oh yeah, I renamed this thing. So that one can go away. Draw tiles. This method, I took everything out of there, so that's okay. This starts to resemble more at what I had in the draw board. It was just saying, no, this was saying draw, which elements had to draw, which then automatically had a shape. Okay, this is G2 point draw. This is the draw method is just, oh yeah, draw a shape. That's just a shape. It wants a shape. No, I don't want you to do that. I want, I'm fighting with the autocomplete always, even on my phone. It's a mess. Probably an old dinosaur. So now, like below, I was just telling it draw shape, and now I'm just telling it what shape to draw. For that, I need just that instance of GameShape. Point. Culture tile is culture shape. So I wanted to draw that. That would be it. And else if corridor get corridor tile. I'm not even sure why I need culture tile not is null. That's sufficient. I don't think I need to assign anything to this culture tile now right here, or maybe I'm stupid, but I don't. This is just when the culture tile get culture tile not is null, draw the shape thing, that's all. Oh yeah, and then I have all these other little thingies, so that might be, okay, so that might be a little, I might have to do all kinds of things double, but then again, so this all goes away. G2 point draw. I go away with your draw, and then game shape. Now I have that instance here for all the stuff on there, and then I want the corridor shape. Simple. And okay, I need to then transform that stuff before I draw it. So that should be here then. Game shape point. And then it's complaining that it's not happy. Okay, I still have the game shape in here, which now I don't need anymore. I think. Oh, I have the feeling that I'm onto something. So that would be just that, and I would repeat it. Oh, I wanted to copy it, not kill it. Then, okay, so, but then if I do it like that, and then this corridor one will have the other shapes that I just tell it to draw here. But then I get this stuff about is highlighted, draw outline. This is the same for all of them. So now, wouldn't it just be more logical if I put those in the shapes actually? Oh, this is funny. Where do I want the conditional, this draw outline? But this is going to be a huge amount of nested crap if I do it like that. Yeah, you might understand I don't feel like repeating this for both cases. Wondering if this actually transforms this, or if I really need to then give the corridor shape method an WH as well. We'll see about that. Can imagine that otherwise it doesn't know about. And then again, the transform thing takes, the transform thing takes the measurement of which corridor shape is built. So normally that would work. That works throughout the whole class because it transformed these thingies here, and they're made out of those. So that should theoretically, as far as I can understand, it should work. But then I have all this if. Oh yeah, just if. Okay, that one can go away, and one of the brackets also. And then it's just okay. Wait. Yeah, of course I can just for if board is not null, then I have this. I think maybe I need to have another thing for that. It checks for this, and when that is not null, it draws that. And when then it's not null, it draws that. Okay. Oh yeah. Of course, it goes looking for culture tile. If it doesn't find one, if it finds a corridor tile, it is null. So automatically, it will only draw this when it in the array it has a culture tile. And the same for this one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes these kind of what is it called? The word escapes me. In that kind of math, it's so condensed that I really need my brain function to do that. But so I could then generally, this is specifically the shape for those things, and this one needs some more. And then I could check on all of the culture and corridor tile objects if it's not null, if it has a draw outline, if it the image is different because that's now in terrain, and if it's highlighted. That might even get back to working again, the if highlight. But besides, I have to set it. Fill what? Fill the shape. Oh, then I need a unifying word for the shape in both of them. So that's not going to work. Maybe I do need to return a shape then, just to be able to use it here, which returns either or. I think I'm right. Shape is null, and then if that not is null after the transform, probably shape is game shape, culture shape. Now I think I don't think this will be probably. I will probably override it then, don't I? Not even sure what. And here I do need an instance of the culture tile to check if I want to highlight it, if I want to draw the outline, if it's highlighted. I'm thinking I can put that on the shape, but then I need to do whole other things with them. Then I should do with the shapes what I did with the terrain, and set those values when I create instances of the terrain. With shapes, they are too diverse for that, I think. Yeah, that's not just. Oh, or I could use another class that uses this to create game shapes, and where they just have a different method. No, but that is what I'm doing here already. That is kind of what I'm doing. Okay, but now I do need. Oh, what happened? Culture tile. Culture tile is get culture tile. Copy. Oh, I have did something weird with those. I pressed some buttons that I shouldn't have. Doesn't highlight them either. What the hell? That's not okay. Why is it not working? What is wrong? Is it the wrong place to? It's not normal. Why should I do them locally in the loop? Doesn't change a thing, does it? Not sure. Oh, I still had them there. Oh, it needs to be behind the null check, otherwise it kinda. Why does it not work? This is so strange. Not sure why this doesn't work, these things, or they might not even need them. So now I put in, instead of if image is null, you have the whole if the. Oh, wait. I can maybe simplify that a little bit too. because I instantiate a culture tile if culture tile, but yeah, that's I can just iterate out through the whole board and don't necessarily need that. But yeah, this works as well. Don't need the whole array again because normally, not sure, but here, up here, I assign a value to that culture tile. And then paint is, yeah, but maybe I'm just like creating these. Oh yeah, I wanted to in between forms to just tell it to get another value, another shape, and then just draw all the shapes. But kind of wondering, I might just have to do a double. Maybe I just do a double, and then later I see how I can change it. So, and now I have this instance of culture tile that I have accessed here, but I can also just tell it again. Well, like I had, the long version doesn't really, yeah, it's bad for the readability, but culture tile. And now I get a really good idea what all these getters are for. Get rain, and then texture paint needs the texture square, culture tile. Now the texture, and now it doesn't want to do the autocomplete. Oh, it's annoying. Oh no, of course not. Now I need to. No, where did I put the texture squares? Okay, yeah, I have a different texture square corridor, texture square culture. That is it. I already split it out in the game shape. So I need the game shape instance, and then I need the texture square culture. I'm doing culture right now, and then fill the shape, game shape. Fill the culture shape. This can go away. That's old stuff. I've made the texture square culture paint. Set paint. Oh yeah, that was what I said. I'm not moved now. Texture paint is paint. Culture tile is highlighted. Is there already? And then fill game shape. Same thing. Let's not type it out again. Up. So, oh, and now it's not used. Okay, so yeah, that's why they stopped being not colored, but now I'm not using it for some reason. Definitely using it here. So is that the value is not used? Okay, so that means probably that I'm using the empty one. How does that work? Because I don't need those, I guess. Right, because I defined them in here. No, it's okay. I do need to create them within. That's something I don't. Oh, one of the things. Another thing I don't know, right? Oh, do I need a return in there? No, I need a return in here because I want to return a tile. Okay, I'm not being stupid. I can just tell it to. I was thinking this is going to be complicated or a lot of. I don't want grain shape in there. Can you go away? Oh yeah, I did want game shape in there. Funny. Game shape point. No. What? Oh, I don't understand that. Maybe I should do a little, what is it called in English? Maybe I should do a little schooling about whatever. It's not the right word. So I can just tell it to draw outline. Oh, if culture is draw outline. Oh yeah, no, this is conditional. For that, I can combine them into one. If it is, oh, it's going to be else if probably. Else if. So yeah, no, I'm not gonna do something very smart like I thought it would be. Then I have this as duplicate. It's the way it is. And this should be corridor then. Corridor tile. And this should go away. Else if, same goes for this one. Else if, yeah, I could combine them in this if thing with an n if they're both not null. But then if either of them returns a null, then they both don't work. So that might not be a big problem, but the same is for the last one, is draw outline. Could do is culture to if is draw outline and or no, not or and, because I then should do them both. Yeah, I could couple them like that. I think that should, but then like I said, then it only works if neither of them returns no. Get image game shape texture square corridor. Yeah, it's very much the same thing repeated twice. Don't like that. So, and then the same is for my friend here. Else if I start to get a notation, yay. Corridor tile. What, didn't I put it in there yet? And is highlighted. It's not visible, but does work for him. Does it work in? Does work in? It's no difference. Public Boolean return. It's not a get Boolean. It's exactly the same. They're just fucking with me. Maybe there's an error that messes it up. Oh, no, that's because I have an error here. Corridor tile. Up. Oh no, this is, oh my god. Culture tile is highlighted true, else if is true, set color, highlight, da, copy, game shape, corridor shape. Didn't do. Oh, private Boolean. Haha. That's it. Public Boolean. Up. Right. So, okay, and then corridor south, those are the zones. What is it? Culture tiles, bloody key drawer, old stuff. Go away. Let's clean it all up. Don't be afraid to lose your great ideas from 10 years old. Then here's the draw unit method. I'm gonna indent this whole motherfucker. Source. I say it every time. Did it short. Basic stroke is here. New basic stroke. Bloody blah. So this whole stuff, except the shape. So this, yeah, I'm really happy. So this is the way. I'm now just telling it what to draw for me. Oh yeah, I can to finish it up. I need to draw these ones. Copy the corridors. I need to draw the corridors. I was pom. Now let's draw outline. What do I draw in this one, by the way? Draw outline, transform, draw, corridor shape. Here I do draw the same. That's the outline. Oh, wait a minute. I'm doing double. Wait a sec. The image. Okay, this is filling it with the try and get image set paint fill. So this fills it with the texture and this draws the outline. So I have 2 times the stuff here. So I don't need to draw anything at all here. Wait. Oh, copy. If I put it here. Don't want to lose my little notation. A little note. So now it just, if it not null, gets a corridor tile. And then game shape, transform, X. No, I'll let it up here for now. See if that works. I could even do it up there probably. Or do I need it to where I really draw the stuff, the shape? No, because I apply it to the instance of game shape for the WH. So I think I should be able to apply it right away. This one can go away. This is here. And so I don't need it double, I guess. I think I'm just make a little note, see if this works. Okay, so I'm getting distracted, of course. Okay, I found out that I was doing something stupid. Okay, game shape, corridor shape, filter shape, sorry. And then I need to here get them again because I lost them, I think. Get them again here and do the same thing. It's just D2, and it takes a shape, so it goes and does its thing. Yeah, this is starting to look way more like a box of tools or a heap of blocks that, oh, I do it wrong, that I use here to create something that cost me a lot of headache to see, but I'm doing things in the wrong order. So now I'm not passing any shapes to the tile objects. The tile objects have other data, but I'm just here in the render, I'm telling it what goes with what. Like I said, I think for me it's kind of illogical because I want to have it all in one place, but maybe I found other ways to join that info, because now I have here I tell what shapes are going with it. In the board I tell the terrain types that the different tiles need, etc. It's kind of, yeah, my head is kind of weird. It's all a bit all over the place. But then again, yeah, it's more modular because now I can create a draw. Now I can create other methods to draw other things like a draw building, etc. And then not have. Oh yeah, just keep saying it. When I use Control I instead of doing all that stuff. I seem to have one too many still. That's what the else if stuff that I put in there, I guess. So yeah, it's kind of weird to have it separate like that, but it's actually very interesting. So that's pretty cool. Why is it giving a big error still? Oh, here. Okay, public draw unit. You cannot play for now. You're disqualified. Oh, I'm not using fix for problems. Yes. So that's gone. Oh, game shape can go away anyway. That's for sure. This other one I can keep for now. So that's great. Now all the shapes, they go away. Oh my god. So this game shape, rectangle, even the texture square goes away. Yeah, because I already gave them names in the to differentiate. I gave them all. They all make reference to where they're used for. So yeah, in the game shape in the shapes class. So that's kind of ridiculous. Oh, then here, and this highlighted, which takes a point. So this class doesn't have access to its shape anymore. So then the isHighlighted thing cannot be in shape either. Cannot be in tile either. So then logically that would go. Okay, now this is the model view controller stuff. And also, like he says in his book, with the decoupling pattern, etc. of game of components. Okay, a little thing I can do is at least implement here just to not have half of them not being there simply. Grass has no defense. That's just a plain. Hills. It's very repetitive. And hills, of course, to defense as well. That's crazy. Terrain is missing now. Great. So now that is the whole thing initialized there. So I was seen as an error in main because I didn't pass the arguments to the instance of render board. So I made give it a game shape parameter, injected that, and then I also just create a new game shape here. Otherwise, nothing to pass. Then that means I can also render. I can also tell it to do things here if I want to. The value of the local variable renderboard is not used. I know, right? It's horrible. So, no, of course. Oh yeah, it goes through the whole code. Now I will use that in user interface or draw canvas or both. There's when they're going. So there was a little break, and in the meantime I thought about this render class and the loop here, and first I came to the conclusion that to use shape instead of the specific shape and give it a value either culture or quarter, that might work, because I was really realizing this loop does an action for every iteration of through the board array. I have a hard time getting that straight in my head. So I thought, yeah, it does one action. So, and if this iteration is a culture tile, it does that. If it's a quarter tile, it does that normally. But then right after I realized, yeah, but I have a culture and a corridor in each array position, so it would do two things at the same time, which by the main means that it's not an else if, it's an it does both at the same time. Then I thought, yeah, what I can do is to let it iterate first to the array and then do a for the culture tile do this and for the corridor tile do that, so that I can separate the two things. Then I think that means I need to repeat certain parts of the code, and where I used the shape. Oh yeah, down there. Not the first part is unique for both. Then the fill, I should. No, that would mean I would do a little bit of the code. That also, when I draw both tiles in the same for loop, that means I cannot use shape to give it a value which is either the one or the other. When I separate them with when it iterates within this board array position, it iterates over the two tiles. Then I could give a value to shape, but yeah, it only takes away very little bit of code to straightly to reference either the one shape or the other. It doesn't make a huge difference. But what I'm saying here that it means that I can reduce, for example, the isHighlighted check. I can reduce that I can reduce it to 1. When I only draw one of them at a time, I can check for that. Then I need to set the shape. Then I can reduce that and get image. Then I can, I could reduce that. I think that would be interesting to try. And while thinking about all this, I realized something else. I was wondering if I can treat the culture and corridor tiles a bit like the same way that I treated terrain now. And I was thinking that I cannot do that because I have, where are they? For instance, the unit list on there that will be needing different positions for both the culture or the corridor tile. But then I was thinking I also might want to separate the array list from here. I'm really starting to see that can separate these things, and I probably should, instead of trying to glue everything together in one object that has the things I want in my head. I want to construct an object that has all kinds of other things on there. But in the end, what I'm starting to understand, it would be better even to not have an array list on the object of tile. The tile is just a container that takes some arguments, and now the way I do it, it gets an instance of terrain on there. It sets a Boolean, and the only link that I need. But why would I want to store the array list on the tile object? I can just create a class of array list and even make it have a method for, I think, maybe I need to make them separate, but I think I can also make an array list class and then have one method with an array list for the culture and one for the corridor. And then the only relation it needs with the tiles is the position in the array for the board array, in fact. So that I don't have objects in objects in objects, and it means also later on I can easily access those array lists to do other things than, yeah, the relation to the tile object is just that I want them to have want to be able to draw them on the correct place on the board, of course, on the correct tile. But then I might also want to have an overview of what units or buildings, whatever you have. So I want to access that array list and do something else with it. So it is, instead of iterating through all the tiles to find those unit lists, I can just have a separate class and all kinds of objects of that that get created the moment I want to place a unit. They get just with the array coordinates, they just get associated with the specific tile. But for the rest, they are independent objects, like I'm starting to do right now. And I really, since reading a bit in this book, etc., since doing all these restructurings of my code, I slowly start to see another method of doing the things. The first, I was always thinking in like Lego shoe or like a physical thing. You have this, you put that on there, you put this, and I want to join everything in certain objects, like like building something. How do I say it? And now I'm more seeing I create the separate blocks, and then like here now in render, but especially also in board, that is where I take all the different blocks and I put them together. And I was more in like, what is it? Thinking in a chapter kind of way, in a structure where I make some kind of logical order of those. Yeah, like like how do you say it? Like taking blocks, constructing another thing, then constructing another thing from that, and from some other thing, and like a hierarchy of construction. I'm not quite sure how to express that, but it was that was the way I was thinking about that, which was pretty interesting. But I'm starting to see that it can be done very differently. So let me see where I start. I think I will try to create an extra for loop in here. So I think that is for, what would it look like? Is it just an if statement? There's just two options, so there's not really a for that iterates. It just iterates to two options, so that would be just an if, I guess, instead of an if else. No, I know, maybe that is already doing what I'm saying. So I'll check if the array isn't empty. That's already that. That's of course the first step. And if it is that, then it does that. If it is a culture tile, it does that. If it else, it does that. So actually in there I already have that. So I do already actually do it, and then this else if is separated from this if. Let me see. Okay, I just have 4 else if blocks. So yeah, that's kind of stupid. I think I just need. Oh, but that's because like I'm saying that I can. This is because why I want to simplify it, because doing the thing that I did with terrains, just having one terrain class that creates these differently instantiated instances of terrain. When I do that for the tiles, that won't be much difference for the way that I've read in the flyweight ID, so that it only creates them once and then reutilizes them. I can, like I said, I can take out the things that make them different for like array list, and the rest I can initialize like I did with the terrains. So I will recreate a tile class, in fact, new class, just do it, and then I will simplify my, like in the render function, and it will simplify it in the render function and also in the potential tile select thingies.